Hey guys, a very good evening to all my crypto believers. So, have you all been curious about what's happening in the market? Don't you worry, the CoinMonks got you covered. Okay, so before starting with our updates, let's quickly quote today's headlines. Avalanche creates $200 million fund to lure top crypto developers. Ethereum NFT metaverse game The Sandbox raises $93 million. Coinbase acquires Indian AI startup to improve customer service. Aussie crypto companies keen to embrace regulations, says Senator. So let's start up with our video. Firstly, let's talk about some rich developers, shall we? So yeah, we all know how much are the developers being paid to make a secure and privacy-centric software that works smoothly. Seems like Avalanche is making the developers drool by their funds. That's what the data is showing. Let's have a look. The Avalanche Foundation has announced Blizzard, a fund that will give developers that built on the Avalanche network more than $200 million in incentives. The fund will give liquidity to early stage projects on Avalanche that are developing DeFi applications, NFTs, and other products. Avalanche is a proof of stake network that began operations in September of 2020. Developers can move decentralized applications from Ethereum to the network thanks to Ethereum virtual machine compatibility. Tether, a prominent stablecoin issuer, and SushiSwap, a popular DEX, are among the more than 320 projects now building on the network. The Avalanche Foundation, Ava Labs, Polychain Capital, Three Arrows Capital, Dragonfly Capital, and CMS Holdings are among Blizzard's contributors according to the November 1 release. DeFi, enterprise applications, NFTs, and cultural applications will be prioritized by Blizzard across the Avalanche ecosystem. The cash will be utilized to fund stock investments, token purchases, collaboration activities, technology development, and business development. Builders inside the ecosystem would be granted continuing support. Ava Labs president John Wu stated, Blizzard is entering the Avalanche community at a pivotal moment where this influx of users and activity demands constant innovation and new applications and use cases on the platform. With a staked capitalization of $14 billion and 56% of its supply staked, Avalanche is the sixth largest proof of stake network. According to DeFi Llama, Avalanche is the fifth largest network with a total value locked at $8.5 billion and a TVL of $2,624 million, up from $312 million in August. According to CoinGecko, Avalanche is down around 18% from its all-time high of $79.31 on September 23rd and is currently trading for $64.8. So moving towards our next segment, it's time for some gaming news. No, I'll not talk about PUBG. I'm going to talk about the game by ETH yet again. They seem to have earned a hell lot of revenue. It's remarkable. I wish I could get a 10% out of it. Lol. Anyways, let's dive into it. The Sandbox continues its rally with Sand rising 144% this week on Metaverse hype and news of a fresh $93 million funding round. Following Facebook's increased push into the space, including rebranding its parent company as Meta and rising value for Metaverse-related crypto tokens, excitement over the impending Metaverse may be at an all-time high. One of the most eagerly waited Metaverse games has just received significant financing ahead of its release. The Sandbox, an Animoca brand subsidiary, announced today that it has raised $93 million in a Series B investment spearheaded by SoftBank's Vision Fund 2. The Japanese firm has been aggressively investing in NFT and crypto in recent months, spearheading Sorare's $680 million raise in September and Digital Currency Group's $700 million raise last week. Samsung Next, Galaxy Interactive, True Global Ventures, Liberty City Ventures, LG Technology Ventures, mobile game producer Com2 US, and many other companies took part in the Series B financing. Users own plot of land represented as NFTs as well as NFTs for characters and other goods in the Sandbox, an Ethereum-based shared online environment. These land plots can be personalized and developed with interactive game experiences that can be marketed to generate revenue for the owners. The game isn't ready yet. An alpha testing version will be released before the end of the year. According to the startup, the Sandbox has already produced $144 million in NFT sales with 12,000 unique land plot owners and 5 lakh total users who have linked a crypto wallet to the site. Along with the money, the Sandbox has added new members to its advisory board, including Guy Osieri, a seasoned music manager and digital investor who is directing Bored Ape Yacht Club's expansion into other entertainment initiatives, and Nicholas Adler, Snoop Dogg's manager and brand curator. Former Riot Games CPO Thomas Wu and Fresh Planet co-founder Matthew Nuzereth are among the newcomers. The Sandbox's Sand token, like Decentraland's Mana token, has seen a huge increase in value over the last week. fueled by growing interest in Facebook's metaverse ideas. SAND hit a new all-time high of $3.33 after the investment announcement today. SAND is currently trading at $2.79 per token, up 244% in the previous week according to CoinGecko. Moreover, Coinbase made it to the news lately as they've completely acquired an Indian AI startup to improve customer service. Well, that was a good decision, keeping in mind how efficient are Indian developers in huge MNCs like Google and Microsoft. I wonder what limits they will shatter now. Let's have a look at it. Coinbase, the largest cryptocurrency exchange in the United States, is acquiring a new business in India in order to improve its client service. Agara, an artificial intelligence-enabled support platform with operations in India and the US, was acquired by Coinbase on Tuesday. Coinbase's customer service skills will be expanded and automated as a result of the acquisition, which will provide additional machine learning and natural language processing technologies to the company's engineering staff. The agreement also affirms the company's plan to expand its India-based IT hub. According to TechCrunch, the acquisition of Agara will cost Coinbase between $40 million and $50 million, according to anonymous sources familiar with the situation. The acquisition is expected to finalize later this year, according to reports. Agara was founded in 2017 with the goal of improving user experience through machine learning and natural language processing. Agara, which employs roughly 40 people, is said to have landed several big clients, including Salesforce, a cloud-based software company, and Shopify, a significant e-commerce platform. Agara's IT staff will join Coinbase as part of the transaction, according to Pankaj Gupta, Coinbase's head of operations in India. Gupta, an Agara co-founder, believes the acquisition will benefit both Agara and Coinbase. "It's incredible to see my worlds collide here with Agara," he said, referring to the firm he co-founded in early 2017 before leaving to join Google. Abhimanyu, co-founder and CEO of Agara, highlighted that the company has also been able to integrate its tech stack into phone-based client interactions. "Phone calls are one of the more sophisticated things we do. We've been attempting to automate as much as possible, if not all, of the phone-based service," he added. Coinbase's latest attempt to improve its user experience comes as the business continues to struggle with providing adequate customer support. Coinbase consumers reportedly lambasted the company's new phone support line in mid-October, alleging it was a joke. In August, the exchange was chastised for poor customer support after consumers complained about hacked accounts and lost funds. So moving towards our last segment for today, we'll talk about Aussie crypto regulations. Looks like government is looking forward to acknowledge some cryptocurrencies, but they'll regulate them too. I wonder what's next. Well, Australia does remind me about spiders. By the way, have you seen the new Spider-Man movie's trailer? Do tell me in the comment section. Oh, that went off topic. Let's go back to the headline. Senator Andrew Bragg of New South Wales has stated that strong rules will provide credibility and validity to Australia's emerging digital asset sector. The head of the Senate Committee on Australia as a Technology and Financial Centre, speaking to local publication Finder on November 2, stated that the country's crypto sector has shown a readiness to embrace additional regulatory monitoring in order to achieve mainstream credibility. Senator Bragg stated, "To my surprise, I've never seen an industry so eager for a regulation. Almost everyone I've spoken to in this industry understood that regulation would bring credibility and validity to this sector." Bragg added that he expects new crypto sector laws to be implemented in Australia over the next 12 months. Bragg's remarks follow the release of his Senate Committee's crypto report last month. The report made 12 recommendations aimed at addressing key issues facing the cryptocurrency industry, including a tax break for crypto miners who use renewable energy, new crypto exchange licenses, an overhaul of capital gains tax in DeFi, and new laws governing decentralized autonomous organizations. The letter also stated that the existing lack of legislative clarity in the area of digital assets creates uncertainty for project developers, enterprises, investors, and consumers. According to Bragg, the suggestions will allow Australia to compete with major blockchain and crypto jurisdictions such as Singapore, the United States, and the United Kingdom in the blockchain and crypto businesses. In addition to this, according to surveys, over 25% of Australians currently hold or have previously held crypto, making Australia one of the largest per capita consumers of cryptocurrencies. Why FTX informed the committee that bringing digital assets inside a tailored and sensible regulatory framework is a far better answer than forcing consumers to operate outside of it with unregulated foreign suppliers. According to the report, Blockchain Australia also discussed the necessity for Australia to implement adequate regulatory reform in order to keep up with other countries. Industry associations stated Australia is falling behind overseas jurisdictions in the establishment of a fit-for-purpose crypto asset framework. So we would now wind up with the assessment for today evening and meet you all tomorrow with even more interesting stuff. Until then, you may consider joining our Telegram channel for free crypto signals, visit our blog linked below for guides, reviews and tutorials, and subscribe to the channel and get daily updates about the crypto market. Lastly, with this little favor of CoinMonks, we hope you stay updated. Thanks for watching and have a nice day ahead.